everybody. Scott Golden here with Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. We've got almost 380 audios available for you to check out in a variety of topics. If you're looking for a business, relationship, entertainment, or life coaching, personal habits coaching, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm looking to help people, as many as we can in 2021. There's two ways to reach out. You can do so with the website in the About Me section, or you can go to Twitter at PO Perception, P as in Paul, O as in Oreo, Perception, and we can be helpful in that way. So we're going to talk today about signs you might be dealing with elongated grief. So obviously grieving is one of those things where you are, trying to deal with the negative emotions of getting over something, be it a loss of a relationship, somebody's passing. Certainly people within the last year, because of COVID, have certainly had to grieve more than ever in the sense of having loved ones pass away or having loved ones struggle with the disease, the grief of losing jobs, the grief of being separated from loved ones. There's a lot of grieving going on, a lot of trauma going on around the pandemic. And so one thing, if you're dealing with extreme grief, is you're going to have physical symptoms. So if you have, for example, tightness in your chest, heart palpitations, sweatiness, just heart racing, sometimes dizziness, or other forms of physical manifestations of stress, you may actually be dealing with elongated grief. Now, that's obviously common for the first few months after a major trauma. But if you can think about something or have recurrent memories, let's say more than 6 months later, and it's pretty consistent, it's not a bad day here and there, obviously, and I tell people all the time, even for myself, I take at least one day every month to 2 months, so about 6 to 12 times a year, and go, hey, where's my grief check-in? Where's the hard things I've been through? Am I doing okay? And some people say that may even be too much, but I do it, and I give it a couple hours, and I'm good. I think people that make room for grieving as a process do better than people who hold on to something and pretend nothing's wrong. And so I'm pretty disciplined, and I try to help my clients to be disciplined about having a good grief practice. The next thing is people who are hyper focused on reliving memories, or people who are avoidant of experiencing memories. So the opposite ends of the spectrum there are really interesting. So a hyper-focused person is a person who constantly is thinking about what they've lost, thinking about how they're going to recover, thinking about what they're going to do, and it causes anxiety for them. The other, though, is the opposite, which is the individual who is constantly kind of trying to avoid any negative emotions. So they may not want to talk about the fact that grandma passed away. They may not want to talk about their ex and the fact that they need to figure out what they're going to do next. They may not want to talk about being out of work for an extended period of time. Now, obviously, talking about something every day or every week can be difficult, but if you never talk and process emotions, it can be negative too, and you can kind of stay in a negative space on a continual basis. The next thing that's there is a long recovery process. So you know how long it takes you to get over something. And I will be completely honest and say, because I was a victim and survivor of severe childhood trauma, my trauma core recovery up until the last probably 5 to 8 years ago was really, really bad. And so I would take over a year to get over something that most people were over in 3 or 4 months. Now, when I learned different recovery formats and when I really got serious about studying the art of recovery, and there is an art form to recovery, and that's where the practice of kind of checking in with my grief comes from. I got much better, and I was able to get through things much quicker within, a month or two as opposed to, several months or years or whatever. But I think that's the thing. If something is taking you longer than it's been in terms of average for you to recover, like if you're a person that's usually over something in 2 weeks and you're at 6, yeah, there's something to look at there. If it's usually 2 months and you're at 4, yeah, there's something to look at there. Everyone recovers differently. But you need to be mindful that if something's taken, I would say 1.5 to 2 times or more your average, then it's something to look at. The next is unending stress. So if you're constantly on edge, if you're constantly jumpy, either physically jumpy or emotionally jumpy, you're bouncing all over the place, and your stress level never seems to come down, and you're just always raw and on edge, that's a sign that you may have unresolved grief. And that's because, if you are kind of holding something at bay, trying to keep it from coming to the surface constantly, there is a negativity that comes along with that. So hopefully this has been helpful. And we will have more stuff up tomorrow, but hopefully this has been useful to you. And until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.